To be clear, the script was made in two parts: the pre-release portion and the post-release portion. The pre-release part started the writing process on 3/26/2022, whereas the post-release portion was written after 4/25/2022. Basic gist, this project has been on the back burner for a bit. Anyways, let's get to the meat of the video now. December 2021 was when the first trailer for DreamWorks The Bad Guys came out. After fully watching it, my thought was simply, wow, this looks like a fun movie, I'd like to see it sometime. And sometime in radio silence later, the second trailer for The Bad Guys hit, and that's when I decided to commit to seeing this movie. Also during that radio silence, I learned that this movie was based on a series of kid-level graphic novels, which I thought was cool. One of the hopes that I have is that the base material keeps this movie grounded in terms of tone, because I prefer a fun movie to an angsty one. The only hint of possible angst that I saw in the trailers was a couple shots and some dialogue that was linked to Mr. Snake, which provides a good segue into talking about the bad guys themselves. Of all of them, the one that left the best impression in my mind was Mr. Shark, seeing as his title of Master of Disguise lends well to a fun comedic atmosphere. As for the other four, Tarantula seems alright, Piranha looks amusing, Snake seems to be set up as a semi-rival Wolf, and Wolf seems like he's going to be the film's main focus based upon his prominence in the trailers. That covers my pre-release thoughts, so on to... Holy fucking shit. This movie knocked it out of the park! I expected a fun romp, and got a fun romp, but with more pizzazz. Going down the list of easy compliments, I ended up enjoying everyone in the main cast. The animation and visual gags were on point, and the third act is a collection of double crosses that ends with the funniest gag I've seen get shoved in a villain's face. Speaking of that villain, I know I've been sick of twist villains since every production team looked at Frozen and said, yeah, I guess so. But Marmalade really nails it in an entertaining way for one main reason. He's a believable backstabber. Marmalade is established as an upper-class opportunist early in the movie, and by the time he reveals his villainy at the end of the second act, that's the moment Wolf puts it together. Besides the alright villain, this movie also featured a seemingly comic book-inspired animation style paired with some really distinct character designs. My little drawings barely do them justice, but I love the animation style for this film, and I'm hoping DreamWorks brings it back sometime. Oh, and side note, the cat in this movie is a needed dose of cuteness. Hell yeah, kitten. Something I noticed upon giving it some thought was that Wolf has the lion's share of the screen time in this film, and it seems that, alongside his more humanoid design, made him more popular than the rest of his crew. Sure, the rest of the crew have their roles, but they are largely set aside in favor of Wolf and Diane, both in regards to the focus in the film and audience reception. Speaking of that reception, I haven't seen anything too problematic amount of reactions to this film. I can name several works where the reaction got into being the unfun kind of cursed. Most notably, The Owl House, the Star Wars sequel trilogy, and Steven Universe. But The Bad Guys' reception is overall positive, besides the usual ramblings of idiot animation buffs saying, it's not serious enough. But hey, that's par for the course in the age of insecure adults trying to gatekeep animation. Anyways, thank you for watching, and have a great night.